Good morning, grade 9s, and welcome to WorksheetCloud grade 9 English lesson for today. If you are confused during the lesson or you feel you require a little bit more clarity, please feel free to use the email address on the screen. You'll see it says grade9@worksheetcloud.com. To introduce myself, just in case some of you are new and joining today, hello, I am Mrs. Nortier. This is my 5th grade 9 worksheet cloud lesson now. So if you're, like I said, new, please be sure to go back and check. We've done thus far advertising and cartoons, as well as poetry and a Romeo and Juliet crash course. Today we're changing things up quite drastically. So you'll need the same things or the same tools that you've had with you throughout. You'll need pen and paper. You don't have to write down or jot down. You can also just think about the answers as we go along, but it's up to you which medium you prefer. We are going to be doing dictionary skills today, and I know it's not the most exciting. I'll level with you. It just isn't going to be something that will grab you, but dictionary skills are important. The reason being that they aid you or assist you with your writing. The only way to enhance your vocabulary is to expose yourself to words, hence reading and looking things up in a dictionary. Writing constitutes, which means makes up, most of your marks in grade 9. So best, let it be something that you actually look to doing, to making sure that your writing is enhanced by this wonderful vocabulary, and what better tool to have that at your disposal than a dictionary. I'm sure you all have seen a dictionary. I hope you have. This might be the very version that you use in your class. It is the Oxford South African School Dictionary. Generally, it's revised quite often and reprinted. Otherwise, online versions are kept very much up to date. You might think that words are just thrown into the dictionary based on, just using them. But there's actually a science behind how words are added to the dictionary. You'll see we're going to watch a short video now. It's entitled How Words Make It Into the Dictionary. But you'll notice words also get taken out the dictionary. Think about it. Otherwise, we'd have dictionaries of thousands of pages. So it's quite interesting to see how it all comes together. Yesterday, I didn't have much luck, so please wish me better luck today.
I know what you're thinking. Hey, Jonathan, aren't all words made up? Well, the answer is yes. So, how does a series of noises become, a word? Well, the answer is pretty simple. It gets used. It's true, a word becomes legitimate, or a real word, when it becomes an accepted part of the spoken and printed language. Take the Oxford English Dictionary, or OED, for example. Since around 1857, this dictionary has used a reading program to find appropriate quotations for each word in the dictionary. In the department, about 50 lexicographers read almost every possible printed medium. We're not just talking novels or newspapers here. They'll also read TV transcripts, song lyrics, magazines, and stuff like that. When they're reading, they're on the lookout for new words. Each time they discover something new, they send it to a database. From there, each potential new entry is given to an editor. This editor tracks the word's long-term use and popularity. For Oxford, the rule of thumb is that a word can only appear in the dictionary once it's met what I'll call the 555 rule. It's been in print 5 times in 5 different sources over a period of 5 years. Oxford also searches for new words using what they call the Oxford English Corpus, a massive collection of published material from across the internet. This corpus contains almost 2.5 billion words of 21st century English, and they're adding to it all the time. While the specifics of the selection process might vary, other dictionaries do the same thing. The editors at Merriam-Webster spend a couple of hours each day reading all the published material they can get their hands on and noting new or interesting changes in language, including new words. While thousands of new words and uses might make it into a dictionary each year, some dictionaries also remove words. These are words that may have been popular in decades or even centuries ago that may as well not exist today. For example, Merriam-Webster has cut sternforemost, hodad, snollygoster, stylopodium, and more. While it might sound cruel to throw these words out, we have to remember that dictionaries map English as a living language. So as English changes, so do its dictionaries.
Right, so there you guys see that dictionaries are not these archaic, olden day books that no one even looks at and you have to wipe the dust off to use. It's actually a living text of the English language. I'm sure those words that popped up there that you saw that have been thrown out the dictionary are quite new to you. I definitely haven't used or heard those words in use, I think, in my whole lifetime. So probably appropriate that it's been thrown out the dictionary. Okay, so if we're talking about a dictionary, you might want to ask me, what is the use? I have spoken to you about an enhanced vocabulary. Dictionary also helps you with pronunciation. Very often, 90% of the time, a word is not really pronounced just as it's seen. Look here, for instance. If we look at, let's go to one that's quite difficult, psalm. You look at that and you think psalm. It sounds ridiculous, but that's what it looks like. Actually, you pronounce it S-A-A-M, psalm. So it's always good to know how to pronounce the words accurately. The dictionary will show you that pronunciation. It's called phonetic spelling. We'll get to it a little bit later. Another important use is vocabulary. Now, you deal with prefixes and suffixes in your syllabus, and a lot of that is also shown to you in a dictionary. So it helps you to build on your word choices. It helps you to enhance your vocabulary using prefix, suffix, and just a wider range of words. Another good use is spelling. Spelling has deteriorated. There is no doubt about that. Unfortunately, cell phones have made it very, very easy to just shorten and abbreviate when you message. It has found its way into a lot of learners' writing. So a dictionary is a good way to understand and to learn how words are spelled so that you're not caught off guard in a test situation where you're spelling incorrectly. Also, a dictionary shows you the 8 parts of speech. The word that you're looking up will always have either adjective or adj or a V or verb. It will always have the part of speech written next to it. So that also clearly ties in, again, with your syllabus. Lastly, there are other functions. These are just the ones I'm naming. It also highlights for you literal and figurative language. Have a look at this little example here. The girl's talking to a cockroach and she says, "Stop bugging me." So there she's using bug. She's talking to a bug. Obviously very funny. And a dictionary will highlight for you if a word is literal or if it can also be used in a figurative sense. And figurative language always enhances writing. We're going to look at the different parts of a dictionary or the different elements. These are the concepts on which you will be tested in exams. Also, this is how you actually know what you are looking up. Right, so I've given you an example here of half a page of a dictionary. So we can work through it step by step. Okay, so this very first word right at the top, tremor. This is to show you, it's called a guide word. And this is to show you that the first word on the page is tremor, so TR. So you know that everything you're looking for will be TR something on that page. So it's a guide word. It guides you to where you are alphabetically. Then you also have a part of speech. As I've said to you, there is an adjective. Trimmer, for interest's sake, was a noun. It even shows you the plural. So you've got your guide word showing you this is the top word of the page. Then you've also got your part of speech. Your head word is the word you're actually looking up. So let's pretend we wanted to look up trend. How did I know trend would be on page 662? Because I knew it was TRE and then I followed. Now, trend is the word I'm looking up. As you can see, it has two meanings. This entry has provided both for you. So that is the head word, the word I'm looking up. All the information, everything about trend is called the entry. So the word, the part of speech, the plural, the explanation, all of it is the entry. All right, so this page we've seen, or this slide, we have seen guide word, part of speech, head word, which we are looking up, as well as the entry, all the information. Okay, there's more. Also, and this is again another half page I've selected, you'll also be given derivatives. That means whatever your head word was, you will then be given other variations of the word. So soften, other variations, softening, softened. There you can see that suffixes are added on to change the part of speech. This is what I was talking to you about earlier, phonetic spelling. Phonetic spelling is how you pronounce the word. So soften, we don't pronounce the T. It's not soften. You pronounce it soften, soften. Right, so that helps you with the pronunciation. English is a difficult language. Then you can also find synonyms. So that's very good for writing. If you're wanting to find a more extensive word, a thesaurus will always have synonyms after synonyms so that you're able to work through that. So here we look up soil. A synonym is earth in obviously specific context. Then it sometimes even tells you register. So if you use soiled, it's very formal versus an informal or slang. So the dictionary defines a lot for you. Okay, so on the previous page or previous slide, we saw guide word, parts of speech, head word, entry. This slide we did derivative, phonetic spelling, synonym, register. 8 concepts. We'll do 2 more. Also, the etymology sounds very fancy. All it means is from where the word derives. Where was it created? So, if you look at patella, which is your kneecap, the adjective was created first in Latin. We get the word from Latin. Right, so for instance, GK is Greek, G, German, OE, Old English. L, sometimes they'll say it for you or write it out in full, is Latin. Most words are derived from Latin in English dictionaries. Right, and again, you'll see part of speech. In the other slide, it was very nicely written out for you as adjective, but you'll also just have to get to learn what the abbreviations mean. So here's also V for verb. Alright, so a new one for this slide, etymology. Where does the word come from? Okay, let's see if you guys are able to identify some. So this is where you can use your pen and paper, or you can just think about it and we'll work through it. I'd like you to pause the video here, give yourself 30 seconds, and quickly identify what this is pointing towards, what this is pointing towards, and where the synonym is. Right, so I hope you were able to identify. That very first arrow was pointing towards phonetic spelling. Innuendo. All right, so they've given you there how you can break that down. The second arrow was pointing towards the parts of speech. Adjective. Then you had to go find synonym. So I'm sure you all were able to see the synonym there for inoculate is vaccinate. I know at the moment they're trying to look for a vaccine for COVID-19, right? So there again, word choice you can build into your everyday vocab. I'm going to do another one here with you. You'll notice 3 arrows. Try and see or identify what they are pointing out. Again, stop the video, think about it, press play. Okay, so that very first arrow is the head word, the word we are actually looking up. Then this vague, it's pointing to that whole section. So it is the entry, all the information put together. Then we see here the arrow pointing to triangulation. This is a derivative. So again, we were given the word triangulate, triangulating, triangulated, triangulation, all these suffixes added on to change the part of speech. Right, so I'm going to go through it one more time, and this is a very nice slide just to show you everything we've spoken about. So guide word is the word at the very top of the page that guides you to what else is on the page. Phonetic spelling, how do I pronounce the word? I don't say handle, I say handle. Word class, so part of speech. Here it is a verb, transitive to be exact, so they're being very specific. Here is an example of figurative language. So the word handle can be used in an idiom to fly off the handle, which means to get really angry really quickly. Derivative, remember you're adding on a suffix to change the parts of speech. Etymology is OE, which is Old English. This whole thing is our entry, and handle was the word which we were looking up, hence the head word. Okay, I'm going to ask that you again stop here. You might need a little bit of time. Again, just think about the answers, or you can write them down, and then we'll come back and have a look at it. All right, so I hope you were able to work through it effectively. We were given the word love struck as well as its entry. Right, so what is the head word? What is the word we were looking up? Well, love struck. What part of speech is this? Must be an adjective because I see A, D, J. Then 1.3, bit of a sneaky language question or punctuation question thrown in here. Provide the function of the hyphen in love struck. Now, guys, if you don't remember anything, but this is all you remember, by all means, it is to form a compound. In this case, it would be adjective. All right, so please remember hyphens form compound, and then you choose your part of speech. It forms a compound adjective. Explain what phonetic spelling means and state what the phonetic spelling of love struck is. So phonetic spelling is how I pronounce it. If I look here, love struck. So very much that U sound, which you only see there in struck, but not in love. But in pronunciation, that's what comes through. Identify a synonym used in this dictionary entry for love struck. They've got here besotted. There we go. So I hope you chose, or infatuated. Sorry, I'm missing both there. Besotted or infatuated. I hope you were able to constructively deal with this dictionary entry. This is a typical way of how you'll be tested. Something else that you have to remember with dictionaries is that every word, well, not every word, the, a, and I guess you're not going to have a personal connection to, but a lot of words have a denotative meaning and a connotative meaning. Now, denotation means the dictionary definition. everything we've been talking about now. Connotation. This is a much deeper meaning. It's more of an emotion. So if I had to look up the word rose in the dictionary, the denotation, it would say a flower, it has a stem, thorns, you can find it in various colors, all very factual. But if we look at the connotation of rose, you think of love, beauty, romance. So denotation is the dictionary, connotation is your association. We're going to look at an example. So here's the example, the cutest little puppy. If you have one, I'm very jealous. I so badly want a dog. And the connotation, I mean, the emotions you feel, immediately it's something along the lines of it's so cute, so playful, so adorable, so sweet, so cuddly. So that you won't find in the dictionary. The dictionary will state a young dog, one less than a year old. Very factual, but we like the connotation, the very cute little doggy. See if you can do it on your own now. This is a home or a house. So again, stop for 10 seconds. Think of what would the dictionary say? How does it make me feel? Okay, so the denotation, the dictionary entry would say it's a building for human habitation, shelter. However, your connotation, your meaning of a house, it's comfortable, it's cozy, it reminds you of family, or unfortunately, because of being stuck in this lockdown, you could also think of it as a prison. It depends on your emotional feeling at the time. Alright guys, so I know, like I've said to you, that dictionary skills, it's not something that you're going to get excited about. But have a look at this quote. Every time I have to look up a word in the dictionary, I am delighted. And you know why? Vivienne Westwood said this because every time she looks it up, she learns a new word. Try and challenge yourself. Learn a new word each day. Have a personal dictionary. So I encourage my learners at school. I say every day add something to that. Use it in your language and then use it in your writing. I know we definitely overuse the word melancholic, which is a deep sadness, but how beautiful does melancholy sound? And just to use that in their poetry and their analysis, it just enhances their vocabulary. I'm going to end off with a short clip, and this is quite interesting. It's showing us words, very recent words, that have now been added into the new Oxford Concise Dictionary. Okay, so you'll see they're very relevant, and it's interesting to see how quickly words become part of online and then later printed editions.
First word I want to look at that the Oxford English Dictionary have added is COVID-19. So what is COVID-19? How is it different from the coronavirus? Well, really, we shouldn't say the coronavirus because it is just one coronavirus. There are many different types of coronavirus. This particular one is called COVID-19, and it's called COVID-19. The 19 is because it was discovered in 2019, last year. And yes, although technically it is wrong to say the coronavirus, it's okay because everybody is saying the coronavirus. When you say the coronavirus, everybody knows which coronavirus you're talking about. It's this one, COVID-19. The next word is infodemic. An infodemic. So what is an infodemic? Well, this is two words put together, information and pandemic. So they took these two words and they were put together to create the new word infodemic. So what is an infodemic? Well, it's the spread of a lot of information which is not true or exaggerated.
All right, so there are two words,
fake news.
COVID-19,
so it's
which
a time
I'm sure
when
has
there is a
become
lot
part
of fake news
everyday
being
language,
spread out
and
there.
infodemic, which is the fancier, more enhanced word of fake news. Remember, don't spread any fake news. Don't be part of the infodemic. We're going to stop here for today. Going to bid you farewell. Thank you so much. I hope you have a lovely day further, and I hope that you were able to learn something, if only not to be part of the infodemic. Thanks for watching, grade 9s. This lesson was brought to you by WorksheetCloud. I am Mrs. Nortia saying goodbye, and I will see you guys again tomorrow.